We are live. This is the MMA Fingerprint.
Strength, leadership, power, authority, guidance, patience are God's gift to us as men. We have to cherish that, not abuse it. I prayed this morning to be a better listener. Didn't work so well. We're human. You get back up. Yes, I've been high up on the mountain. I've been blessed. But that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And it's lonely up there.
Yeah.
You know, people don't know that side of it.
We did not come this far to just break down and lose now. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
True desire in the heart, that itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire, that itch, that's God's proof to you, sent beforehand already to indicate that it's yours. Aspire to make a difference.
So you are what you are in this world. That's either one of two things. Either you're somebody, or you're nobody.
Never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So, keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So, keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
While it may be frightening, it will also be rewarding. So you got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. Because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, need to...
Fail big. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there, and you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances professionally. Don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day. Sometimes it's just to not curse somebody out. Simple goals, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you have already done, and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it. Hard work works. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. I don't care how much money you make, you can't take it with you. The Egyptians tried it. They got robbed. That's all they got. You can't take it with you. And it's not how much you have. It's what you do with what you have. We all have.
All right, so I'm going to cut that off. It was good, though, while it lasted. All right, this is the MMA Fingerprint. We're going to go ahead and get into this upcoming card here very soon. Abu Dhabi. Okay, Abu Dhabi. Okay. All right. So we got that, and we'll pull up the card. I'm going to do this again. This time I'm not going to have the odds in my bookie on the screen, because apparently that's not cool, even though I wasn't. Anyways, it's all about like gambling issues, and it's the fact that my bookie's probably not, they didn't pay the ransom to YouTube to be on YouTube at all, so only certified certified places, internet websites that do the book. So anyways, after dealing with that, I'm back again, and this time it'll be a little bit better. I'm gonna just run through the card, and you can do with it what you will. This will be the only time that I'll ever do this for no cost except for your time and your ability to get through the motivational video. So you got the right mindset coming in here. Now, I am putting around $2,000 on this card, myself personally, and I'm gonna walk through. Everything is weighted at a $100 unit level, and then it's all scaled to risk, okay, according to what the odds are, and some tweaking due to payout potential as well. So kind of juicing some of the payouts with some very specific props. But I'm just gonna walk through it, and we'll see how it goes. So to start, I'm gonna start with the main event. It's just easier. We'll start here with the main event. Okay. So Magomed Ankalaev and Bogdan Guskov. Okay, so this is not a guarantee. This is roughly what I'm doing according to the betting lines that I had checked not too long ago. Now Ankalaev, and all of these picks, I would say 95% of all the picks on my bet for the Abu Dhabi card are all determined by the model. I would say about 5% of the tweaks are me looking at the results and going, what about this? What about that? Let me look at some history on one or both of the fighters to get a gauge of what my human intuition says about what the numbers really mean, and then figuring it out, and then going ahead and making a decision. So this is where it's at. As long as the betting lines don't move drastically in the next 24 hours, this is roughly what I'll be doing. Okay, so with all that being said, nothing's guaranteed. This is just what I'm doing. If you find this before the fights, feel free to make use of it if you can. So Ankalaev by decision, 100 units. And right now, 320 is the payout per 100 units of risk, which is it's a very juicy prop. So, and it's rated as a 70% likelihood. Guskov ML is the downside cover. The risk is 25 units, and the profit is 100. And I did that specifically. The lesser potential, broader coverage, positive EV is basically the idea, and then sandwiched in the middle of that is something that creates a juicy prop to add to the primary, or it's another it's something else that's cheap enough in the units it needs, right, in order to function. That means it's got a high enough payout that it covers another aspect that seems likely indicated in the model, so okay, and so that's kind of how this works. We're basically trying to provide protection for the bankroll. It's basically buying insurance, essentially. Okay, so going on to Urseg and Temerov. Look at that little muscular dude. 5'4". Oh, shit. Okay, so Urseg money line, 90 units. And the profit is 90 units. And the overlay, so we're going with the Urseg submission, and that's a 20 unit risk, and the payout is 160 units. So that's really good. That's really good. I gotta lock that in too yet. I gotta put money in still, but we'll get there. And then we have Temerov, round 1, as a cover, and we risk 12 units, and we get 54 in profit. Now, you look at that and go, well, wait a second here. Wait a second. Why would you do that? Why would you risk $12 for 54 units when that basically covers not even half of your 20 and 90 that you would lose if Temerov does get the first round KO? Well, first off, it lines up in the model, and it does have pretty good positive expected value. The issue is that we're not going to put extra money on something on a just in case when the return is parity. It's like a plus 100. So that's the issue. That's the issue we're running into. And so we just go ahead and it's a play that doesn't pay out unless we get that juicy submission. So we want to get something. So we bet the money line on Urseg, and then we add the submission to juice it up, because if he's going to get a submission, it's likely going to be in the first round when they're dry and he just catches something. And Urseg does have a tendency to find submissions Oh, it's not even in the first round, just Urseg submission. So if he gets a submission, it's okay. So that's what we did. We did that to build in the value. I had first round in my head, but I'm thinking Temerov in the first round. Whatever. So let's just move on from that. But yeah, that's how we work the numbers with props that fit the outcome indicated in the model. The most likely actions that will lead to a finish. Okay, so let's go to Islam Dulatov and Wellington Turman. I can't stand the UFC website. It sucks. All right. So there we go. Okay, we got Dulatov KO, where you risked 85 units, and the profit is 50 units. Okay. And then we used an overlay. We went Dulatov decision. We risked 25, and it profits 142 units. So if he doesn't get the KO and he gets the decision, we're good. And then we have a cover. We have an overlay cover for this, and it's Turman submission. We risk 15, and if he gets a submission win, we get 300 in profit. Now, I want to say this after we're 3 in here, so you've kind of seen how this flows and how we try to structure for variance, right? We're designing this thing to catch variance on positive expected value, and everything we're picking and betting on fits the math. We're not trying to fit the fight. We're not trying to change the math to fit the fight. We're actually picking the fights that fit the model outcome with positive expected value. And we cover a downside, and we try and provide additional cover in the middle, or we juice the primary leg. And I'm telling you that this is going to be, this will become a god tier betting service very soon. It's already elite in terms of how it handles the modeling of the fight. But there's going to be other things that I'm going to be implementing down the road here very soon that are going to introduce a new edge in MMA betting for people that are going to be premium subscribers, where you'll get real-time arbitrage from different betting websites. And I don't want to explain exactly how I'm going to do that. I'm sure there's going to be some complications in the process of trying to figure out how to automate it. Regardless, even if we have to pay people, right? It's just going to be a part of, people with more money and looking to buy time and to invest it in something that they enjoy doing, which is watching mixed martial arts fights. This is going to be the place you're going to want to be. And you're going to be here earlier rather than later, because the longer this goes, the more expensive it will become, unfortunately. And that's just due to I have to try and keep the numbers down as much as possible while turning enough revenue to allow me to run this, hire some people to do probably some things, and then also engage in some of my other business projects that I have in mind. And it's just a matter of having time and having revenue that I can invest into those other things that will produce a similar level of sort of grassroots amazement and, engineering methodology and so on and so forth. Creating a product that actually fits the market rather than trying to manipulate the market to fit a business model of extracting value at an unfair compensatory state. It's really ridiculous. Like, you're not even providing any service that's equivalent, and it's just crazy. So we'll keep going here. Okay, Kuniev versus Fortune. Kuniev by decision. We risked 50 units. The profit is 64 units. We got a cover We picked Fortune by KO. We risked 12 units. The profit is 70. So there's that. And what we do is if I go 3x, like this is around roughly a $700 or so sheet, right? And we don't change the money we put on risk. All risk is like curve adjusted from the highest edge to the lowest edge. And like I said, we find the fights that fit the model and produce positive expected value. Then we take a look at the fights and we go, okay, this seems a little fuzzy. Can we figure out like what is, is there additional detail in, some of the profile reports or in some of the betting slips that get produced by the system? Is there something additional in there that can tell us more about what's going on with the fight to give us a more clear signal? And so really this system is about finding signals in all the noise and all the numbers and the stats and the information. And it's a very specific system of, finding the signals and then, crunching numbers and coming up with, this, or a series of variants of, aspects of both of these fighters in the cage together. So Kuniev and Fortune, we got that covered. Now let's do Walker and Peterson. Look at me. Okay, and we skip fights in here that don't fit the model. It's very important. We skip this one too. Walter Walker versus Thomas Peterson. We are going to do Walker by submission. We risk 35 units and we profit 48.65 as last I checked. Then we use Peterson by KO as a cover. We risk 18 and we profit 77 if it happens to turn out that way. And we go to Jacoby. Oh no, did we skip Jacoby? No. We are betting on Jacoby and Magomed Saidov. So basically they shorten that to Said. That's so weird. Okay. So Jacoby versus Saidov. Okay. So we went primary Jacoby by decision. We risked 80 units. We profit 156 units. If Said gets the KO, a $20 risk, profits 72. And again, all this will scale. So it scales enough to just about cover the KO, which is important. Let me see here. Okay, we got Patterson and Ponzinibbio. Okay, jeez, dude, this website is garbage, man. Billions of dollars, you can't even fucking get a real good website. Suck. All right, so Patterson by KO, we risked 75 units, and we get 77.25 in return. And we covered with Ponzinibbio on the money line, which is 21 unit risk, and we get 75.90. Again, we're covering the primary leg, and if Ponzinibbio wins, it's going to be on the money line. You just don't know, and he's just going to end up surviving the 3 rounds and getting to the end. Okay, and then the last one. I told you it was going to be short and sweet. Okay. Bonfim and Sola. No. Jeez, this website is garbage, bro. Ugh. Look at this. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Wow. No, you cannot go. You cannot go. Can I go to the prelims? What the fuck? Oh my goodness. What is this, dude? What is this? It's a $1 billion company and they can't even make a proper fucking website. This is crazy, dude. Unfucking real, man. Oh, what? Wow. Wow, dude. This is so trash. Fuck UFC, dude. They suck. I can't wait to launch my own promotion. I also plan on launching my own promotion, too. It's going to be very different from what everybody else is doing. It's going to be amazing. All right, so we got Ishmael Bonfim and Alex Sola. We went with Bonfim by KO, 45 unit risk, profit 184.50. And what else we got here? We picked an overlay of Bonfim round 1, 10 unit risk for $80 profit. And we did an overlay of Bonfim round 2, $10 risk for $88 profit. And then we picked Sola by decision as a cover at 25 units for $49.75. And again, it's meant to help reduce bankroll loss. It doesn't deal with everything. It just gives you enough coverage. So it's $50. That's covering 65. I mean, it's okay. So I took a 15. I'll take a $15 L if need be. You know, for the upside that, you know, anyways, it's the math. It's the math. You got to stick to the math. If you deviate from the math, it's gonna fuck up your bankroll. You got to stick to the signals. You're gonna get burned sometimes, and this system is mature, like the pipeline is mature, and going forward, it's just gonna be me refining the signals, adjusting weights and measures inside the pipeline that analyzes the data, and you know, yeah, so go to the Gumroad link. I don't know if it's in there. I got to put it in there. But in one of the videos, the Gumroad link is in there. Go to the Gumroad account and sign up for the membership. That's $10 a month right now. That's just an introductory price. It's $10 a month. It has all the fight profiles of every single fight on this card. And all the fight profiles for every single fight on all future UFC events will also be in this Gumroad membership account, where you can get access to all the profiles. I mean, you can download them all if you want. I don't care. You can just sign up for a month, download all the profiles. I don't care. I do not care. Eventually, it's going to be for people that simply don't have time to fuck around and sign up and download all the fight profiles and you know, quit after 1 month, right? Like, eventually there's going to be enough information in this that the membership monthly will probably be in the $20 and $30 range. Easy. We're talking like in 6 months to a year. $20 to $30 easy. So get in early. You know, the early people, they might have an opportunity to keep their early rate, or maybe the rate doesn't go up as much. I mean, there's perks to being here and getting the, you know, getting the recognition for seeing value in something and then supporting it. And we don't do that enough in this society as a whole. So we should really try to start now. You know, something that's so beneficial, right? Let's think about this for a moment. So I don't know that there's much else I have to say. You know, they just got done with the weigh-ins. I gotta run a few data scrapes of the internet to gather some information to see if anything's happened or anything's changed in the expected outcomes here. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to actually see. And I've been fighting the math the whole time, trying to see if there's something more that the math is not seeing. And I've been getting burned. And the math has been proven itself on paper. The math has been, if I've been following the math, if I just been following the math, I would probably be very much ahead, even, dare I say, like, ready to quit my job, perhaps. But it also taught me a lot. So the failures have allowed me to, as I'm looking for the signal and the noise in one area, the machine is doing that in a different area. And finally, with enough hitting, nothing in terms of pay dirt, I finally took a real hard look at the numbers as the model's been getting refined after every card, and I go, oh shit. It literally saw everything on the board. Minus one or two true outliers, but we fixed that. It was just that the machine was weighting things wrong, but we got that fixed. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for this. And anybody else who finds this should be excited too, because you have just come across what will not be a secret for very long. And I'm already thinking of ways that I'm going to have to try and find out, who's moving betting lines, or who's leaking the, because there's going to be membership agreements. There's going to be, like, when you buy a package, like, you're gonna, and it's not right now, but it's going to be down the road when I'm full-time doing this and other things, not punching a clock. There's going to be things that I'll have to do to try and, test to find out who's leaking info to who, So, this is legally considered proprietary information. I'm declaring it right now. So don't think that anybody can just try and, like, nobody can just copy my shit and then not get another copy illegally, right? For example, and be able to reproduce the same result. Like, they'd have to get the information and they have to buy it, but they're not supposed to be sharing it. It's just to be just for the person who buys it. That's like it's like a license, basically. Your license. It's a license to essentially have the document. You're signing a contract. Yeah, this is a business, and the business is information. And this is the best mathematical edge in betting on mixed martial arts. This is the only time, and I can promise you that I will ever reveal this information publicly without being paid by somebody to reveal my information publicly. And it would have to be, let's just say this, it would have to exceed in multiples what I could make just keeping it normal and making my own bets and then letting other people get my bets after I've already made my bets. So, that's just how we're going to roll. But yeah, we got the membership for the profiles, the big long profiles that include all the backstory and everything. Then we have the betting profiles for every fight that go into the $49 bettors package. It'll have it'll have this final betting slip that we just talked about. It'll have individual bettor profiles for the fights and giving you relative risk sizing on what you should be willing to risk on a particular single fight, not having it correlated with anything else. It's just that fight by itself. And you're going to find that a lot of them align with this. And then there are some that are not on here that they do have betting, that there are betting slips for in the package. And that's just because I think you should see everything that you can if you wish to dive into the more dangerous water where there might be higher pay on more variance. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot more. I think we're just going to have to do the companion live stream and see what happens. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm so excited for this. I'm excited to make like $1,000. Like, that would be fucking awesome. That would be so awesome if I can come away with $1,000 positive. Like, that would be beautiful. Like, I really hope that Ankalaev gets the decision so I can get fucking paid. You know? It's like $900, man. Let's fucking go. And, you know, I hope Ursay gets that submission. Fuck yeah, dude. That'll be huge money. So, you know, just triple. So 160 times 3. And then 3 times 90. That's like $700. That's like $800. That's huge money. Huge money. $700. Then, what else we got here? What else has got a really juicy? Jacoby by decision. That's huge money. Huge money. And Saeed by KO. Saeed by KO is pretty good. It's pretty good. It really is. Yeah, so like my downside risk mitigation is I feel really good about the whole thing. I really do. And yeah. I guess that's it, man. We'll see you all tomorrow. I gotta see what time it's going down. I would imagine it says 11 a.m. Central, but I gotta figure out that for sure. I don't know. What does it say? CDT? Is that Central something time? I don't know. I gotta figure that out. So, yeah. Let me do this. Let's see if it comes up. Yeah, look at that. Nice. There we go. All right, this is the MMA Fingerprint. This is the next generation of MMA YouTube content where we don't just worship the fighters, we try to make some fucking money. Let's go.
September 18, the data hit the screen. 57 million moving through the digital machine. World Liberty Financial setting up the brand new game. 75% flowing back into the family name. Oh, it's a sovereign hustle on the decentralized chain, selling governance tokens while the watchdogs complain. North Korea, Russia, and the money from Iran buying up a seat at the table from the leader of the land. Check the wallet address is 0x9009, moving ruble back that crypto right across the sanction line. Try to dot ass bouncing through the tornado mix. Lazarus group hackers getting in on the fix. It's a digital safe harbor, no regulations to abide when the executive branch is on the receiving side. This ain't just a currency, it's a governance right, giving hostile foreign powers a vote in the night. The ledger is immutable, the transactions are clear, commodifying the policy for the highest bidder of the year. Oh, it's the sovereign hustle on the decentralized chain. 7 governance tokens while the watchdogs complain. North Korea, Russia, and the money from Iran bind up a seat at the table from the leader of the land. 57 million. The blockchain glows in the dark. The sovereign hustle.
Where are my ultras? Ultras on me.
Playing on iPhone? Now you can play unlocked on PC with Google Play Games. Unlock bigger screens and better controls, so you can